Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we smash apart the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1 minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle, when we're movie fans, we love the art of acting. Yeah, I'm always curious about what was the movie Heat, the one that finally brought together Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, and you have these. I just think you have these great actors and actresses, and when they meet in a certain project, that's always amazing.
Yeah.
When we're talking to Terry Notary here for the last couple of minutes here as we wrap this up. In this minute, he has an amazing conversation about the other big person in the motion capture industry, and I thought this was really interesting.
That's right. Here we are at minute 112 of Louis Leterrier's immortal epic, The Incredible Hulk from 2008. And when you talk about motion capture and performance capture, if the name on your lips is Terry Notary, then the next name you're about to hear is Andy Serkis. And so we couldn't let Mr. Notary go without asking about that other guy who likes to wear the coveralls and transform himself into other characters. So we get into that. You're going to hear me do a little bit of a name drop, clunk, right at the start. When I was in my other one of my other jobs was as a moderator for Phoenix Comic-Con, which has now become Phoenix Fan Fusion, which, like everything else, has been canceled. But at the time, I got a chance to be on stage with Manu Bennett, who was Slade in Arrow from the CW, and also was in the Hobbit movies, too, as Azog the Defiler. And so I got to ask him a question that he actually ended up going a really good story on. And so I asked the same question to Mr. Notary to see if he had the same response. And it was very similar. So you also can, I think, if you look on YouTube for Manu Bennett, Phoenix Comic-Con, you'll see that interview. Actually, that panel is out there somewhere.
Oh, nice.
I had far less beard and far more nerves, but I think I did pretty well with myself because Manu Bennett is a fairly intimidating dude. But in the meanwhile, so that's what you're going to hear now. Is we're gonna talk to him about motion capture, about Andy Serkis, and then I make a really dumb joke at the end, which could have ended the interview right there, but Mr. Notary thought it was pretty funny and he laughed about it as well. So. And also, we're going to get a little sneak preview of one of his dream projects. So make sure you stay to the end of the interview. So that's enough ado, I think. Let's get to the conversation. Take it away, us. I had a chance to interview Manu Bennett a couple of years ago, who played Azog in the Hobbit movies. And so I asked him this question, so I want to ask it to you, too. So when you watch your capture performance, where they've done all the CG and all the effects and everything, can you see yourself in it, or are you at that point just seeing the characters because of all the layers they put on top of it?
Oh no, you see yourself. Oh, you do. You definitely see yourself, and you can see all. It's the motion capture captures so much. It really captures the essence of the person, of the actor. I really think, it really is one of those things where you just see the subtleties and the little like eye flits, and they keep it all in there. I mean, Wet is amazing for that. They really stay true. I mean, if you saw side to side, you would just be like, oh wow, it's exactly what he did, and that's how they like to work. I mean, when Peter's happy with the shot, it means he wants that in the character. Don't go tweaking, the performance. And so you do see yourself. And you get your timing and your, all your little nuances in there. Yeah. So it's interesting seeing yourself. It really is. It's kind of trippy. You're like, whoa, especially as an ape. I think as an ape, it's like you really see yourself in it.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. He said basically the same thing. He said when he wanted to have a bond with his warg, and so he had all these gestures where he would reach down and pet the warg and stuff too. And he said when that came through, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's all me."
Yeah. He was great. I was right there with him when he was doing all that stuff.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So was that the first time you sort of crossed paths with Andy Serkis?
He was there, but we'd done 8 films together by that time.
Oh, wow.
I started on, let me think. It was Spielberg's. It was
Tintin?
It was Tintin. That's right. Okay. Yeah, Tintin was the first time I met Andy. And I was coaching. I was training the Thompson twins. Oh my God.
Peg and Frost. Yeah.
Yes, and doubling those guys, and then Andy was there, and I was like, wow, this guy's a great actor. He's really good. He's the guy that played Gollum and and just super cool guy. They were so stressed out on that film. They were getting new pages every day because Peter was in New Zealand, and he was on conference because they were kind of co-directing the movie,
right?
Kind of. I mean, they were both into it, really into the project, and so it was Steven was sitting, at the monitor in LA, and Peter was on this, monitor on the screen next to us, like sitting right there, in New Zealand, and Peter would say, "Oh, can I give a little bit of advice for some of the actors there?" And they'd come over and stand there in front of the, "Can you try another one?" And he was writing the script with Fran in New Zealand, and they're crazy, they're nuts. They just keep thinking ideas, and he's sending new pages every day. So basically, Andy was getting paid 3-4 new pages every day. So he's like, "Oh my God, I'm going nuts. This is crazy." He'd remember the lines from the night before, and then you'd have to relearn them all and try to ingest it and digest it. And it was crazy, nuts. But that's, Peter's crazy though. And Fran and them together, they're like creative like tornado.
Yeah. Oh, I was just curious, like when the two you met, like your names are always next to each other when people talk about performance capture. So when the two you met, was it sort of like a long lost brother, or like when you sat down, you sort of like, yes, we're exactly on the same page about the future of performance capture?
No, but I knew because when I met him, I had put a bunch of skits together for Steven, because he said and videoed them, right? And I had a buddy of mine come in from Cirque, and he played the other twin, and Steven said, "I want it to be like Rube Goldberg. I want everything to be a bing, 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 ding, 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 bang, and it would be like this whole turn of events would happen, and it would make this funny outcome happen, right? So I came up with about 10 skits like that, and played it for him, and Steven was just like loving it, it was like, "Oh, check this out, this is a great one, And Andy came over and stood there, and he's like, "Man, this is great," And I was like, "This guy's cool. This guy's awesome." He gets it, and he's from theater, so he totally got it,
Right.
And so I just knew that he was a cool guy. I didn't know we were going to be buddies. But
that's awesome.
10 films later,
Right.
we know each other really, really well. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a movie. I'm gonna direct him in my first film.
That's my next question was going to be.
Neanderthal.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say you did second unit for him too. I was wondering if you were going to get into the big chair at some point.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm ready. So I'm looking forward to that project. It's going to be amazing. We have a beautiful script. And it's with the Russo brothers. They're producing.
Oh, nice.
And so
great.
So yeah.
Is that a period piece?
I'm really excited. It's two prototype languages, no subtitles.
Oh, okay.
We're going to just immerse people in this world. You don't need to have dialogue when you're doing it. I mean, it's like that's what we learned from the Planet of the Apes films. Was why am I telling people I'm hungry if I'm like eating really fast? I mean, it's like obvious. It's obvious, and it's like, why don't we just cut everything that we're doing? Why do we have to say it? And so basically we're just, we're going to learn words. You're going to learn keywords. You're going to feel and see and understand everything like you're a fly on the wall, 40,000 years ago.
So not like Encino Man.
No, a little different.
Yikes.
That's great.
All right, we're back in the studio, just Rob and I. And raise your hand if you thought I was going to make an Encino Man joke when this episode began.
Yeah,
no,
nobody thought that. Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming.
Thank God he
In
totally
random
did.
references.
He did find the humor in that.
I know. I was so nervous. I was like, I put out that out. I'm like, oh man, he could really take this the wrong way. But no, he was super.
Well, thanks,
cool
guys.
about it,
Click.
just like he was with everything else. He was so patient with us, just fanboying on him.
Well, we're almost done. We only have one more segment left.
I know.
So,
well, even with all this stuff, you'd think that would be enough,
No.
but no. We actually in the end we sort of even it said like, do we have just a couple more things? And he was like, all right, fine. Like, so the next we're gonna get into some miscellaneous. So there's a lot of little interesting tidbits I found in doing my research on him that I just wanted to know about. Like these strange things you pick up. Like, is that real? Like, IMDb says you were in this. Is that true? Like, and so he was very kind to go over some of that stuff and say this is true and this wasn't, and that stuff. So that'll be in minute 113. In the meantime, if you like what we're doing, including a surprise interview with a Hollywood celebrity, you can support us by buying stuff. So we have merch. We got tons of stuff. We have pillows. We have face masks. You can put our faces on your face in a social distancing kind of way. You could be helping yourself and helping us at the same time.
Stickers.
Mugs. Stickers. Yeah. Magnets. All that kind of stuff. You can go to neckfield.com/merch. And a little portion of the proceeds come back to us to help us keep these shows a-running and find impromptu interviews like this that we can share with you. So that was 112. Be back here for minute 113 as we wrap up our monster epic interview with the incredible Mr. Terry Notary. So thank you all for listening. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.